as we get ready to go here. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go here in Portimao. Looks like a good start for Ileana and Alex. Mia Hart is up past Lewis already. Long run into turn 1 and Ileana briefly takes the lead, but Alex gets much faster round the outside. Further back, Jack Coffey's also got past Ileana. Long straight down into the hairpin. Greg goes down the inside, but Dan also gets through.
On the exit.
Will Mia Hart? Yes, Chris is also through. What is happening here?
Does Ileana have some kind of issue already? She's losing positions every corner practically. As it stands right now, Dan would need to get past Greg and Jack Coffey to win the championship. Lewis
However,
is right
Maggie
in the middle
and Jack
of
Gray
things
battling. Jack goes around the outside of 1. That's a lovely manoeuvre.
That's Ileana holding off Lewis.
Oh yes,
isn't it?
Ileana holds off Lewis, sorry.
The two of them, all of these are losing so much time in this battle. The lines Ileana's taking, they're keeping Lewis behind, but they're costing all of them a lot of time.
Georgia is almost in a position to have a go at Mia. Elle locks up there.
Now we'll do the tyre exit at all. Looked like Ileana had a bit of a compromised run into turn 4.
With Jack Gray as they all go down the long middle straight.
And that's Maggie trying to pass Lewis on the inside.
Oh!
And there's contact!
There may have been contact. As Maggie goes up into 7th, replacing Lewis.
It looks to me like it was Lewis that made contact with Ileana in the braking zone, but we'll see it on board. Very late move from Ileana there to cover that off.
I think that's a racing instant, to be honest. Ileana is now down in 13th. Mia Hart has passed Daniel.
That's a very big deal. That gap was about 2 seconds. Has Dan made a mistake? No, Mia Hart has been catching up.
Does Dan have an issue?
That looks like some kind of slow issue for Dan, actually.
It's a loose wheel.
Can they, from here, fuel to when it's going to rain? We're expecting it to rain sometime in the lap 20s.
They do manage to get to the pits.
It's going to be very interesting to see how much fuel they put in this car. Are they going to commit to going as far as the rain's expected, or are they going to run still run what would be a 3-stop strategy if they do a short stint?
Yeah.
This is very much going to compromise Dan's race, though. I think they will have a good clear track in front of them once they come out the pits.
Decent amount of fuel. I think they're still going to try and 2-stop. Maggie gets past Chris down the front straight.
A good move from Maggie. Is she going to be able to pull away before the head?
Just had asserted the inside line early.
It does not seem like Lewis has the pace today.
Ollie now pits. That could be a very early strategy call.
Jack Coffey is slowing down. Jack Coffey got some kind of issue on the start-finish
Jack Coffey's out! Jack Coffey, very much out here.
Terra's lost the slipstream a bit of Ileana. But Dan's going to have to be ready, got on the brakes. Wow! Against both of them!
What a pass!
How is that possible? Look how far behind Ileana they are!
And look at how well they get it turned in. It's just so good on the brakes, that car. So this is out of the first set of corners.
At this point, Ileana has no reason to
she's a long way ahead of that group of 4, right? Ileana does lock up slightly, but still. Dan just shoots through.
The confidence they have to know that they could get that car stopped for the corner, braking that late.
They have to be aggressive in this race.
They do.
Chris Rowe! Chris is out.
That is another failure for Chris Rowe.
That means Chris
After
is
doing so
likely to have to go through pre-season qualifying next season. He needs to have Greg covered by about 8 positions.
That's not looking likely right now. That's all Greg really needs.
Will Jack
to finish ahead of Dan.
Oh, it's Kerrod! What has happened here?
They had some kind of
technical issue. He gets a transmission failure.
Tries to come into the pits, and the car just runs out of drive.
I don't think he does. I think the car just brakes, and he is short of the actual pit entrance here. but I think he might just about be out of the way to the point where they don't have to close the pit lane.
Well,
Not anymore.
yeah, that's not helped, has it?
No,
That
but
was the
Alex
wrong
has just
direction to
lapped
go.
Alba.
Yeah.
I reckon they've got Alp into the hairpin this lap.
If they can break as late as they did last time, then they'll be past Daisy as well.
Yeah. Here we go. Alp covering off the inside. Aggressively.
Very aggressively. That was an incredibly late move.
Just about
Very lucky
okay.
that Dan didn't go straight into the back of him there.
Dan has to be careful though. Greg gets past Mia Hart.
It's Mia Hart
Mia
as
Hart's
well.
blown up! Frozen Light are your Season 4 Constructors Champions.
Well,
This
is the
opens up
first
the
time-
possibility of
This,
Dragonlord Productions overtaking Pentacoron.
it does. They need to outscore them by 18, which they can only do if Greg wins the race.
It-
It's not looking likely that Gridlock are going to be winning the Tyres Championship here. The leading Gridlock driver is 47 seconds off the lead in Lewis.
Yeah.
Alex into
Alex
the pits.
Pitts.
Is this going to be a short middle stint two-stop?
I think with Rain is expecting what? About 8 laps?
Yeah, I'd say
6, maybe 6 to 8 laps. But we
The
don't know if
mid-lap
it'll be heavy
20s.
enough. That's fuel to the end.
maybe. I was
Okay.
expecting more like 9 or 10 seconds to go to the end, but I think
Okay.
again, do have a quick pit crew. That could be a short final stint.
Could. There's loads of moves happening into the hairpin. Alba nearly
Ow.
getting around the inside of Alex Woodger. El now behind Alp. Alex is only a 10th ahead of Lewis?
Ahead of Greg.
Oh, Greg, sorry.
Yeah, these two are right next to each other. They've
So
both
yeah,
made
Alex
their pit
came
stops
out of the
now.
pits right ahead of Greg.
So Greg made a massive undercut there and nearly gained the place.
Yeah. But Alex is already pulling away.
That's Alex Hill. I mean,
The next car back
Yep.
is Greg. So how did... Oh yeah, Alex just couldn't get past Alex Hill. Ooh!
oh, there was contact, I think.
Was there?
That was very lucky. It didn't end up worse for Alex.
There was!
Yes. Didn't anticipate
Alex
how
just
much.
being
How
impatient.
much? Didn't anticipate just how much Alex Hill would have to slow down for that corner.
Yeah, it's Mia Pitts. So Dan will move up into 4th now.
Mia will presumably fuel to the end from there.
We'll take a look.
Fuel to the end and hope it doesn't rain. Now, nearly 3 seconds ahead of Greg.
Dan just gained 2.5 seconds on Lewis, who is blowing up! I think that's just another car out the way for Dan in their pursuit of Greg. I mean, Frozen Light have already won the Constructors.
Outscoring Greg by 4 is going to be hard. If Dan finishes second with Greg third, that would not be enough.
It would not, by 1 point. .5, that's fueled to the end, surely. Oh no, she has, yes. Daisy is the only one who hasn't stopped of the top 12.
They get a really good run out of the final corner, then turn 1 should
Surely
be their
Dan
first
must be
opportunity.
relying on Greg having a technical failure at this point, though.
It's looking like it. It's hard to imagine how Dan could finish 2 places ahead of Greg as it stands, or
Yeah.
even ahead of Greg at all. They can break 50 metres later than anyone else into here. A late defensive move might cover it though. Not quite as late as what Alp did.
We were behind Alp and El battling.
How's Alp going to do on the brakes?
Not that well. Who's on?
Oh,
Michael!
Yes, Michael out of the race.
Yes, engine failure for Michael as well.
Came through this.
Is that Alex? No, it's Maggie blowing up! We were looking on board with Greg. Maggie!
Will finish with no points this season. No race finishes.
That is such a disappointment, given that Daisy has finished, what, every race?
No, that might be
it's
at turn
turn
3. Going
Just
into the
locks
gravel,
up.
they misjudged that braking zone horribly, if they don't have some kind of... As does Jack Gray.
L! L! No! L would not finish a race this season. L is
For
yet
the
to finish a
second
race.
season running, they failed to see the checkered flag. I have some kind of problem. 'Cause it's not going anywhere.
Maybe just being overly cautious?
It might be beat.
Dan does get through both Daisy and Jack Gray, who both pitted.
And there is
there
some
it
rain
is.
in the final sector. You see the track starting to get slightly damp. That's really going to hurt their run off the final corner.
I think you've got to.
We're expecting a decent amount of rain, but
Slicks.
going for the slicks again. They're definitely still the fastest tyres right now. It's not wet enough for Inters yet.
Iliana also goes
Yeah.
out on the slicks. And has the overspeed down the front straight.
That slant is quick in a straight line, pulling away in the final phase of the straight.
However, into turn 1. Oh, Georgia carries more speed though.
This is a good battle.
Georgia locks up.
locking up.
Those are
far,
very
she
old
has been-
tyres.
She has been the hardest opponent that Dan's had to pass.
Yeah.
Been now a full lap for the Dan's been trying to get past Georgia.
Let's take a look at
Second attempt to the hairpin.
No, Dad didn't have the run this time.
Georgia probably still has to stop again, and soon, but this could line up perfectly
Oh,
with the stop
Georgia
for wet
makes a
tyres.
mistake. And Dan does get through.
Frozen Light would take the Constructors, as we know, and Grid would win the Tyres Championship.
Frozen Light would take it on 95. Greg pits.
What tyres is Greg going to put on there?
10 laps to go.
Any choice is a risk here. If Greg loses this championship, this decision
Inters.
could be what does it. I think that's the safer choice.
Greg will be the first one out there on the intermediates. That's a slow stop as well.
Surely all going to have to stop again.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting outlap for her, trying to get those
Moderate
tyres up to
wets, I
temperature.
believe, as well.
Looks like it.
It's just got even wetter. Yeah, there's now spray down the pit lane.
It's
Alba
rapidly
pitting.
getting wetter, isn't it?
I think so, but you just cover Greg here.
Absolutely. With a 41-second lead,
Yeah. As Jack Gray
you can do that.
goes up into 5th here.
Set of intermediate grids.
Yep.
Alex gets out with a slightly slower stop, but not too bad.
As Alex is out!
Stopped either.
Alex is off! Alex is off! He's not out yet!
But the gap
Greg?
is small to Greg, and Greg will go through.
Greg will go through!
Alex is very wedged in the gravel trap there. That's going to take a while to get out. Oh, never mind. He's done
Never
it
mind, that's a lovely
fantastically
bit
quickly.
of driving.
It might still be possible for him to chase down Greg here, but
What happened?
is that a mistake on the new tyres?
That's an odd place to go off as well.
It is. Did he hit a patch of
Just
standing
slides.
water in aquaplane?
Yeah.
Perhaps even the intermediates not having enough tread depth to deal with the standing water we're starting to get now.
Well, Greg is on the grid intermediates as well.
I think that's a sensible choice. We've seen Alex go off already, and that was on a set of Inters.
Daisy will go through into 3rd. Jack Gray pits.
Looks like Daisy is the only one staying out on the slicks of the top drivers then.
Mia.
And Mia's staying it as well. That will gain them 2 places.
Oh, Dan has to wait for Jack Gray. Dan
There's
does
no way.
126.5.
Dan's going to be able to break so much later with those tyres into this corner. Like, Mia can only
Doesn't
complete
even
that
need
place.
to. Go for 6th. Georgia trying to defend against Jack Gray. And Alba managing.
Let's see what happens into the hairpin. Jack Gray's going to have a very good run. Is he going to
Alex
get on the
Hill's just
inside?
overtaken Iliana again.
Georgia is so good at defending on the brakes here.
Yeah. And has got past Daisy and Samsung.
That was always going to happen sooner or later. As Georgia continues to make great defence on the brakes,
Yeah.
but running a bit wide on the exit. That might cost her.
It has. will Alba be able to take advantage as well?
Especially Jack Ray.
2
from the
laps
end of the
remain.
race.
It's only 3.6 seconds now.
Does Greg have any lap traffic in front of him that he's going to have to get past?
Dan and Daisy.
Or Greg, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Daisy.
I don't think either of those are going to want to give up that place so easily.
But I also don't think that Greg is going fast enough to catch Daisy necessarily. Actually, Daisy's on
I
the
don't know,
slicks.
Daisy's losing 10 seconds a lap.
Daisy's still on the slicks.
Like, probably not catching Dan, no.
Georgia,
Georgia,
no!
no! Keeps out the barrier just about, but loses the place to Alba. And now she's going to have to wait.
Alba goes through as well.
Is she going to hold on to those points?
Yeah, but...
That is a big loss for the Suns team. Has Jack Gray's got past Mia?
Yes!
That's on the exit of Samsung.
This is a whole train now, with Alex Woodger involved as well. Greg has
Greg's
got
got
past
through
all
them
of
all.
these.
That will eliminate any chance Alex has of winning this race, I think.
Yeah.
As Greg will start the final lap of Season 4.
Alex briefly got the gap down to 2 seconds, but all of this traffic's increased to 4.5. Oh, that's... Is that going wide?
That's Ileana, I think.
Is it... Yellow rain falling now, as Alex Hill appears to have retired on the final sector.
She wasn't quite in the points, but this would have been a double finish for Agrahose.
Alex now, in the pouring rain, comes through the final corner for the final time this season. Onto the front straight, as Alba gets past Mia, and Greg is your Season 4 champion! Alex will come through into second place. We'll take third in the championship. Ollie comes through to take the point for Agrahose. Bronwyn finishes 11th. And Dan, in the Constructors' Championship winning Frozen Light, will be third as we look one final time at your champion, Greg. We thank you very much for watching. We will be back next season.